Alright. Up next, we got this the one Yuko sent. I am subscribed to Earlybird. I do recommend their channel. They make good vids. They make entertaining vids. Um, we're gonna watch this one with the very interesting face over here. The failed masterpiece. Oh, the 7 games of the soul. Yeah, can you say no to a face like that? But yeah. Content rated barely. Mature. We're all mature here, right? Right?
This video is brought to you by War Thunder. Huge thanks to them for sponsoring. More information on War Thunder coming soon. Faust 7 Games of the Soul is a deranged PC game that came out in 1999. The game was intended to be viewed by audiences as a cultural piece of high art rather than just a video game, which is an insane ambition when your game looks like this. It was a massive commercial failure. There's been a lot of speculation as to what exactly went wrong with this game. It had a decent budget, yet barely managed to sell
20
10,000
months in a
copies in the
row.
UK and 14,000 in the US. That's pretty
Thank
bad.
you, Yuko. I
A lot of
appreciate it.
reviews looked something like this. The real problem with 7
I
Games of the Soul is that
appreciate
it's
it.
not only nonsensical, but it's
Super.
also pretentious. I think part of the problem is that the marketing team
No, but
was
thank you.
possibly drunk? Hey guys, what do you think we should put first thing in our trailer for the game? Something that really puts our team's best foot forward.
The way I feel like this is how sometimes they make decisions for games these days, where they're just in like some random ass luxury hotel or something on a business trip, and they're trying to get this shit out of the way so they can get to the fun part of like spending money and drinking and then moving on. Like I legit, this is how professional business is done. In a hotel lobby, and then they get drunk later. I feel like this is how it's done.
Oh, that's a good question. It's gotta be tigers humping.
What the fuck?
I wish I was kidding. That really is one of the first things you see in the trailer. The worst
Okay.
part is it's relevant to the story. The game's story is a strange reimagining of the German folklore and legends surrounding Faust, with the
God.
most famous iteration, of course, being
Why is it so
eager to
bright?
play. There's not a ton of information on the development, but there was a clear intention that the game ought to be a disturbing
the-
adventure for adults with some themes that would push boundaries. My favorite kind of themes. The puzzles were intended to be complex and thought-provoking, but most of the time they kinda just don't make any sense, unfortunately. Challenge your favorite streamer to beat this game with no guide and watch the light slowly drain from their eyes. The game's opening and trailer tells us all about a closed-down amusement park called Dreamland. Dreamland was once a place of whimsy and fun, but after a string of violent crimes, it was condemned and closed down. The owner and creator of the park
Like I feel like another way that would be dangerous to do it, from the way she described it, was like instead of like forcing them not to use a guide, like every time they had to reference a guide or look at a guide for help, they would have to take a shot of some very strong alcohol. And I'm getting the impression by the end they'd probably be dead. Like it'd probably kill you. The impression I'm getting so far.
Theo has just passed away and arrived at the pearly gates. However, there is a tiny little problem.
That
Apparently,
chin.
a lot of the people involved in Dreamland were a bit morally
Oh.
complicated. Their human souls were filled with both good and evil. A demon meets with a man called Faust who has forgotten who he is.
Mephistopheles at your service. Allow me to help you out a little, put you in the picture, as it were. The boss
Are we really-
and I have a slight disagreement concerning a few
What is this
souls,
angle?
people who lived and worked here, about whether they should be sent up or down.
That's right.
We're really
Apparently,
talking with
God
our
and
hands a lot, huh?
Mephistopheles have a disagreement about what to do with the souls of the people of Dreamland. Faust, with all of his memory loss, has been chosen to help.
What exactly am I supposed to do?
Faust must investigate the lives of these individuals and find evidence for and against their character to help figure out if they're deserving of heaven. Since he has no memories,
I love how
he's
that's such a
completely
trope
unbiased
in games.
referee between God and Mephisto.
Since even back
Should I
then,
begin?
Let me think. Yes.
the over exaggeration of talking. Yeah, I
I
love
hope you have a strong stomach.
I love how like the whole amnesia character has been such a thing for so long. It's not going away. It's just such a trope.
Like, follow me.
As it turns out, I don't
All
have
right,
a strong
Yomi,
enough
good
stomach
luck.
for what Mephistopheles was about to show me.
Hopefully you don't
In
have
the
to kill
menu,
anyone
There's a jukebox,
at work.
and it appears that a lot of this game's budget went to
And Grand Theft
licensed
Auto.
music. As a YouTuber, this is truly the worst
Oh,
nightmare.
no.
The first souls that Faust must investigate
Licensed
belong to
music.
Jody and Lily, conjoined
The
twins that
bane
live
of
and work at the
every
park.
content creator's
At the start of the
existence.
chapter, Mephistopheles makes some edgy commentary about how literally close they are, comparing them to being bound in a marriage, and then he turns scary
That's-
briefly for some reason.
Until
That's fair, Yuko. Like, if it's like part of the lore of the game, or mechanic, or whatever, like, instead of just random amnesia guy gets plopped into scenario, like, like sometimes the games don't even try to explain away the amnesia. It's just like, well, he tripped over thin air and bumped his head. Now he's got no memories. Also, we're gonna go make him fight, I don't know, God or something. It's like, we're gonna go punch the sun. Amnesia.
as they say, death do they part.
As you explore the living space of the twins, the story starts to come together, kind of. Sometimes the way that this game feeds you the story can be a little bit confusing because basically you click on an object and then a voice line plays to give some context to the characters or the story.
Need to play some point and clicks.
Did you ever wonder what it would be like to sleep on your front? I guess we would have to swap beds, Lily. Oh, out of the question, right?
Right. Out of the question.
Of course,
What?
with it not being linear, not everyone is going to click everything in an order that necessarily makes sense, so it definitely can get a little bit convoluted. Even the game itself literally tells you that it recommends playing the game multiple times to put all of the
I
pieces
love point and
together.
click games,
Also,
though.
sometimes when you click on an
Need to
object,
play some more.
the game is
I
just
especially
really
love the
weird
mystery
for
ones.
Absolutely no reason. You'll just be minding your own business, and all of a sudden, bam.
Come here, pussycat.
Anyway, one thing that becomes very clear about the twins is
Just taking a drink. What was it? That went down the wrong pipe. Oh my god. That got me. Oh, I paused on, like, what is that? The fucking double toilet seat over here. Oh, was not expecting that. It got me.
that they have a very big interest in money, and they're willing to do pretty much anything for it.
They can laugh at us if they want to, darling, but a cent is a cent, and we've already collected around $50 like this. $50, do you realize?
Come
Damn.
here, my beauty. You and I are gonna get along just fine. You'll see.
They use any of the money that they collect to loan out to other people to have control over them. They have a particular fascination with another performer at the park named Hannibal, the tiger tamer. The twins believe that if they just keep loaning Hannibal more and more money, he'll become so indebted to them that one day they could just convince him to marry them in exchange for the massive debt.
Damn.
Shining stars of heaven, twin goddesses of my temple, receive this precious antique as proof of my adoration.
Oh, Jody.
Laying on her
That's
bit thick.
lovely. Isn't
Bit
it?
thick.
Lovely. I'm not sure, but definitely second-hand.
Lily, the sister who is more mild and
Damn.
kind, seems to have a genuine interest in Hannibal.
Good night, Prince.
Versus Jody, who really seems more interested in controlling him.
One day you'll be mine, big boy.
This is where Mephistopheles comes in. He saw an opportunity to make Jody an offer for a demonic pact.
I invited myself into her dream and offered her an enormous amount of money, more than she could possibly have imagined. It was a winning lottery ticket with the entire jackpot just for her, of course.
Tell me how much, Master.
You see,
Uh,
there's one important lesson you can learn from greed. Everything has its price.
All Mephistopheles asked of Jody was that she drop her pursuit of Hannibal. In exchange, he would give her a winning lottery ticket. He had plans to try to manipulate Lily into a contract as well, but unfortunately for him, she refused.
No, the money, it doesn't interest me. I'd have to share it anyway. But Hannibal, on the other hand, now, I could have him all to myself.
I granted their wish. Of course,
What?
there was one minor detail to settle.
The sisters used the lottery money to surgically separate themselves, but the matter of greed still prevails. Jody is annoyed that her sister thinks that she is entitled to some of the money, you know, especially considering that she deliberately turned down her own demonic pact for her soul. Jody's a bit resentful that she is the only one that had to give anything up for their abundance of wealth and is kind of consumed by greed despite having more than enough for both of them, and things don't turn out well.
Till death does us part. What'll I do with you now? Even dead, you're a burden to me. Well, as Nathaniel often says, when faced with a problem which seems
Oh my god, thank you for the follow! Welcome on in!
And solve it bit by bit.
The thing I love about point and click games is that they're usually 9 times out of 10 over the top in every way. Usually they're over the top in every way. From storyline, characters, to the graphics of cutscenes and shit. It's usually just so chef's kiss. Just so extra, and I love it.
It is then heavily implied that Jody feeds Lily's body to Hannibal's tiger so that she can be close to her beloved forever. That's kind of fucked. She also hides her skull in the haunted, spooky-themed area of the amusement park. You know, so like basically Pirates of the Caribbean. How it used to be anyway.
Come here, pussycat.
Oh my
Before
god.
we take a look at the next soul, here's a quick word from our sponsor. While the game we're discussing today covers the
I have
more
a feeling
literary
that thing's
side
gonna,
of
like,
history, War Thunder is for
she's
those
gonna have that
interested
popping
in
up a
military
lot in this
history.
video.
War Thunder features detailed models of powerful war machines that will give you a glimpse into past battles. There are over 2,500 vehicles at your disposal, including tanks, planes, helicopters, biplanes, armored cars, fighter jets, and ships from over 10 different major nations. You'll have no shortage of war vehicles to choose from as you send your arsenal into intense PvP combat against a community of over 95
exciting,
million
guys.
players. With that many players, there's bound to be differences of preference for playstyle. War Thunder features 3 distinct modes. Arcade for fast-paced matches with enhanced unit
I hope she got
performance,
paid.
a simulator mode that doesn't hold your hand to present a true
I hope she got paid
challenge,
some good
and
money.
a realistic mode that balances between the two. While we're talking about preferences, you'll be able to customize your units. There are tons of customization styles ranging from camouflages to historical markings to decorations for your vehicles. And some of them are even community
Yeah, I
created, which
tried-
is super cool.
like,
You
I've-
can take control of these vehicles with just your mouse and keyboard or controller. There's
I don't
no
know if I
fancy
played
setup
anything
needed.
else, but
There's even an all-new mobile version available for
I
iOS
tried
and
the
Android.
tanks and the
Personally, as you've all
planes
seen
thing.
many times
I
before
think I
on the
might have
channel, I
done
really like
the ships
historical
as
side of
well.
video games, and it's cool to be
But
able to
I
take a
didn't-
detailed
I
look
checked
at
it
some
out
war
for, like,
machines that really existed and fought
a
at
couple
one point.
hours,
New and
and then just
returning players
never-
that haven't played in the last 6 months on
never really
console or
played it
PC
again.
will receive a big old bonus pack. You will get the exclusive Eagle of Valor decorator, 100,000 silver lions, and a full week of premium access. This PC and console bonus is available for a limited time only, so be sure to claim it now. War Thunder is free to play on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile devices. Whichever platform you choose, be sure to sign up with the links in the description and pinned comment below. The next character is really fucking
Okay.
boring and the level pissed me off, so
The
I'm going to mostly
whiplash.
gloss
The
over it.
whiplash.
Nathaniel was offered all of the knowledge in the world by Mephisto because he's a huge nerd.
Oh, dear Lord. When you were handing out simplicity, this man surely missed out on his share.
Mephistopheles sees Nathaniel toiling day and night to learn everything he can about the universe. He sits down with him and is like, hey idiot, what's the point in struggling to learn when you know you can't possibly learn everything, because you're just a filthy human, and you'll just die.
I am offering you knowledge. Absolute, all-encompassing knowledge. I offer you the deepest possible insight into the secrets of the universe.
I always know if I was ever offered that shit, I'd be like, no. Because if you know everything already, I just have a feeling you just end up fucking bored. Like, absolute boredom. What's the point of anything if you already know everything? What's the point? It's just absolute knowledge of everything and anything just equals eternal boredom.
And immortality to boot.
This chapter features a gratuitous amount of gameplay in comparison to how much story it gives you, and it can at times be extremely fucking frustrating. Trying to open this letter with the letter opener took years off of my life. My blood pressure has permanently increased.
I can feel the
This water wheel
frustration
thing doesn't fucking work. You're
through the
supposed to
screen.
stop it a little bit early before the basket you want arrives so that it can stop within reach. It takes 5 trillion years for the basket you need to come around again. I even tried save scumming near where the basket is about to come around again, but the game doesn't even let you do that. Like, damn, even Mephistopheles gets so angry in this chapter he digs his nails into a chair.
Damn. Like, one of the... that face. Like, one of the few complaints I have, like, for point-and-click games is the thing that, like, raises my blood pressure is, when you have to be really precise in a point-and-click game on, like, if you're, trying to progress or... solving a puzzle, just something where you gotta be very precise on where the mouse will let you actually click on what you're trying to click on. But it'll be like sometimes the tiniest thing, or just doesn't make any sense. Like, that's one of the few frustrating blood pressure rising things about point and clicks that get to me. Pixel hunting.
Goddess.
Oh my god.
Too much time spent with their heads buried in books.
Sometimes you just want to take a nuke to the pixels.
It's not a healthy way of life. Well, maybe I am a little upset, but these intellectuals are killing me. I'm not keeping you, am I? Well, of course not. You bastard.
Basically, Nathaniel just refuses because the cost of the infinite knowledge and immortality is that he can never interact with human affairs again, which kind of defeats the purpose of why he wants knowledge to begin with. And through all of this frustration, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Nathaniel's home holds a strange contraption, and inside of it is my flamboyant, beloved homunculus son.
Homunculus to serve you, Merly.
What the fuck?
You see, the homunculus is a figure in Faust lore, a small artificial entity created by man that lives in a bottle.
So, let us get swimming in the shower.
The homunculus serves a few purposes. His bottle can fly, which means that he can reach things Faust cannot. He also serves as the game's hint system. To replenish hints, he makes you play through a shooting gallery minigame for reasons I cannot comprehend. Like, dude, you could just give me a hint. That wouldn't be that hard. The next soul up for judgment is a man named Frank. Frank is a painter that is
More obsessed with sex than skill.
and wishes that he was literally Casanova. I hope you guys like Blockateals because there's about to be a lot of them. As you explore Frank's house, you start to realize that he was quite the womanizer, but the ladies mostly just kinda mocked him and turned him down. While his idol Casanova was actually an accomplished and interesting person, Frank wasn't really. Well, I actually scratched that. He is quite interesting, I suppose, because the door to his bedroom has a painting of a lady pinching another lady's nip-nop, and the only way to open the door to his room is to insert a pencil into the nipple getting pinched. Who made this door?
What the fuck?
Where would you order architecture like this? And now I present a scene that the game doesn't really
Yeah, if you're not
provide
making
very
that
much
shit
context
yourself,
for,
how would
but
you
it has really
explain
good
that to
facial
someone that's
expressions.
building it
And
for you?
also, the music is copyrighted and a woman is moaning uncontrollably, so I have replaced the
Amazon?
sound with a jaunty royalty-free tune for your listening
Amazon
pleasure.
Prime shipping nipple door. What the fuck? Ugh. What's up, Eda?
Did you like that? Did you like my royalty-free tune? Faust has absolutely no problem crawling into Frank the pervert's bed to look around, but has enough sense to be kinda scared to find out what's held in the secret compartment above it. Whoa, there's a flashback in here. Frank was desperate
fucking
to change his
faces are
situation
sending
and
me.
welcomed Mephistopheles with open arms and even excitement. His role in Dreamland was that of the deformed man, and he often wore a mask to hide his face. Mephisto made him an offer he just couldn't resist.
I came to offer you a deal. I have the power to make your dream come true. I can make you irresistible.
Irresistible? You mean that every woman I want will fall at my feet?
Those and others.
Frank does not for a second consider the weight of selling his soul for the ultimate gooning experience.
Deal.
Frank's house is partially underwater in Dreamland's lake, and I don't know why, but there's a lot of shots where the camera just has you looking out into the water, and I was convinced something was going to scare me the entire time. And it turns out I had good reason to fear what lurked beneath the lake's murky waters. Frank's masturbatorium rife with moaning and stock scream sound effects.
The fuck?
In this room, we find out that Mephistopheles granted Frank the supreme ability of seduction and irresistibleness, but at the cost of his skill. Frank would be able to create one final painting that would be his masterpiece and would exhaust all of his talent. He gained the ability to read minds, which he could then use to seduce people.
Playing a game of
However, it turned out to be more
Oh,
of a
this
curse
is
than a blessing because while he could
we're watching
manipulate
vids right
everyone-
now. We did I played what was it? Something Whispers. A spooky demo of a new horror game. I don't think it's come out yet. I think it's coming out soon, maybe. But it was proper spooky. It scared me. It scared me a couple times. It made my chicken wings flap in the wind.
He could also know for sure that they did not love him or respect him. One thing I don't really get about the story here is the implications about Frank's character. Mephistopheles explicitly tells him that he'll only make the pact if Frank agrees to be a good boy and never hurt women. So if that's the case, I don't get why the dark room is so horrifying, full of disturbing pictures and screaming. I don't know, I don't get this one. But all is forgiven because this jump scare made me laugh. Frank eventually gets so emo about being able to read minds all the time that he decides to set himself on fire. Mephistopheles saves him, though he is badly burnt.
Enough!
It'll start becoming a recurring theme over and over that Mephisto is evil, but somehow finds himself doing good things.
You must not hate me for what I do. There is a purpose in it. I didn't choose this life. For 3,000 years, men have blamed me.
I love how he just
3,000 years
has
in
to
the company
talk
of
with his
mankind.
hands. Like they're
I ask
flapping
you,
everywhere.
Who deserves the most pity?
Oh, Faust, the
The
Seven
next soul is
Games of the
Kalinka.
Soul, apparently?
Kalinka is a genuinely
its
kind
whole
person
title?
and has quite the chaotic love life. Hannibal, the tiger tamer that the twins were lusting
Or is it
after,
just
pursued her
Faust?
quite aggressively. Kalinka rejects his advances, and he's convinced it's because she must have some dead lover that she's hung up on.
Well, I'm alive, darling. All flesh and blood, and rather nice flesh when it comes to that.
Hannibal, you are wrong. My lover is not dead.
Her lover is indeed not dead. He's a secret. The drama. The twins were quite jealous that Hannibal gave her attention.
The soap
She
opera.
won't steal our man.
The hell she won't.
Kalinka is a seamstress that creates costumes for the performers of Dreamland. She would always take extra care and consideration for everyone's outfits, even when those people weren't always the nicest to her. To get her away from their man, the twins came up with a plot to try and frame her for stealing a necklace, hoping that Theodore would fire her. It's kind of ironic that the twins wanted her gone so badly when all she ever did was turn Hannibal down because of her secret lover. Exploring Kalinka's house reveals that she had a baby with this mysterious man. Also,
Soap
I got
opera
stuck
drama.
on this part for a very long time because one of the rooms is actually bugged out. An item that you absolutely need to progress is in this drawer. However, to open the drawer, you have to click all the way over here. This enraged me. Mephistopheles sees that Kalinka
That
really
one's-
is a kind person and forces you
Oh
to
my
use a
God, the
machine
blood
created
pressure
by Roger Bacon
just
in a
rising
segment with a
continuously.
time limit to warp reality and help her. Shout out to my fellow bacon enjoyers.
Hello, my name is Roger Bacon.
While using the machine to warp back through time, a flashback shows that Kalinka's secret lover is
That was
Frank the pervert.
fuck.
Apparently,
That was what was the name of the game? Kadelka, I think. Kadelka? Something like that. Another game I need to play.
Casanova did find his one true love. However, he didn't want people to refer to the baby as the son of a monster, so that's what all the secrecy was about. After Kalinka's story wraps up, Mephisto and Theodore have a little conversation about how they met. Theo says that he was reading Goethe's Faust when he summoned the real Mephisto. The way he describes it would be very funny without context.
Well, I repeated that sentence aloud 3 times, and he came.
Yes, I did.
It's also very heavily implied that there's something they're not telling our player character, Faust.
You would be wise not to reveal our little secret too soon. It's part of our arrangement, remember?
Now, you remember in the beginning when I said that the tiger humping thing in the trailer was relevant to this story? It is now time to find out why. I'm sorry.
Like I said to Frank, I have the highest contempt for macho bullies.
You see, Hannibal the Tiger Tamer is a macho bully, according to Mephisto, the guy that relentlessly pursued Kalinka and was relentlessly pursued by the twins. Hannibal thinks very highly of himself, as evidenced by his room. He has posters of his accomplishments and even a giant painting of his own face hanging above his bed.
Of
His
course.
stage name is Hannibal Red Narcissus, the Tiger King.
I called for help twice.
Fucking
and not
hell.
a fuck you, what do you need, or nothing.
God damn.
I'm not sure what's worse when you click on the twins mirror and Mephistopheles
Why do
is
the
like,
pants make him
up is
thicker?
video.
Oh god,
or when
that
you click on
fucking
Hannibal's mirror and he's
stab
like,
it.
yeah. Whoa. Ooh. Ooh. Sorry about that. The music in that scene is copywritten, so I just, I improvised. Anyway, Hannibal is a raging alcoholic, but the story is set in the time of the Prohibition. He gets his alcohol from Todd, a dwarf performer at Dreamland. Todd is a bootlegger. Hannibal threatens to turn him into the police if he doesn't agree to bring him a tremendous amount of alcohol on the regular. He also speaks to Todd in a very derogatory manner and even whips him. The whole scene
What the
serves
fuck?
just to show what a huge piece of shit Hannibal is in terms of the way that he treats and views other people. Then, for some reason, a bunch of rats are in his bed?
What?
Get out of here.
Why?
You filthy rats. Yucky. Ew. Gross.
What the-
Get out of here. The only time Hannibal speaks positively about anything is in regards to his two tigers, Zeus and Apollo. He tells them that he wishes that he was a tiger and that they are the princes of this world and he is the king. Hannibal's entire world revolves around these tigers. Tragedy strikes when the evil twin feeds her sister's murdered body to them. One of the tigers dies from consuming the flesh, and it's kind of implied that she purposefully poisoned them. Hannibal tweaks the fuck
Damn.
out and vows to eat the tiger's murderer himself because he really wants to be a tiger, so apparently that's how you deal with problems.
What the fuck? What the tigers do? What the tigers? What you gotta bring the tigers into it?
Upon talking with Mephisto regarding Hannibal's contract for his soul, he seems to be very, very amused with himself. Hannibal was so desperate to change his situation to get revenge that he sold his soul for a mere $1, and he never once considered the wording of his contract. Mephistopheles is clearly not Hannibal's biggest fan, so he gave him a bit of a monkey paw situation, and this is the weirdest fucking scene in any game I have ever seen in my entire life.
To escape the law of the feeble man. He wanted to be a predator. Allow me one little riddle.
Uh-oh.
What's the worst thing that can happen to a macho bully?
Fucking hell! Stop it! Stop it!
You guessed right. Sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
Really?
Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum.
I did not
Really?
need to know that that was Hannibal getting tiger porked live
What
on
the
screen, and
fuck?
I also really did not need to see his face superimposed over that, but here we are.
This
What
is
do you
a
think
fucking
they told
trip.
the animators for that scene? Like, do you think there was any reaction? I'm just imagining an animator sitting there going, I don't get paid enough for this. Moving right along to the next person, Todd.
To some people, he's a hero. In the eyes of the law, he's a criminal. But as usual, I'll let you judge for yourself.
To open the door to Todd's house, you have to punch a punching bag. Yes, I know that doesn't make any sense, but this is a puzzle game. This has nothing to do with the plot, but the scene is a work of art.
Oh, so that's the way you want to play it, is it? Okay. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Or y'all.
The
Quality
fucking
of
voice
these sound
acting and
effects
everything.
rivaled even my own.
Or y'all.
Todd's character is a little bit edgy. Exploring his home reveals that he was born on the Day of the Dead, and that due to his condition, his parents wanted to kill him at birth. Thankfully, he
damn.
was saved and adopted.
This is why we call you Todd, because you came to us right from the arms of death. Todd, to wear the name of death is a good job, very powerful.
This game tells me that apparently Todd means death in German, so if you're named Todd, congrats, you're cool. Todd was very against the prohibition and felt that the government shouldn't ban alcohol, but rather tax it and use the money to feed and shelter people who needed it. He decided that he would, quote, become the government and take the matter into his own hands. Todd is
the older games,
the most morally gray character of this story. On one hand, he cares a lot about people and helps them. On the other hand,
older
he
games
has a
are just
ring of child laborers that
even
make
years
alcohol.
later.
Okay, kids, it's like a game. First,
they always, even if they're bad,
like then use the press.
They've always got some way to entertain you.
The children are hidden behind a secret tunnel behind some barrels. As Faust makes this discovery, Mephisto sees him bent over and bobs him on the ass because why not? Let's could we hear that sound effect one more time?
Sorry, no, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't resist it. so tempting. Oh god, it's good to laugh.
This story will give you whiplash because the condition that Todd kept the children in really wasn't the best. But they were orphan children, so at least they had somewhere to go and food to eat, but also they were being exploited for labor. But also, Todd used the profits to help other people. But also, he was kind of mean to the kids sometimes.
One at a time, you street cubs. And if I see anyone eating with their paws, they'll be washing the dishes for a week.
But also, if anybody, like Hannibal for example, was ever mean to the children, Todd looked after them and stood up for them. As we know, Mephisto hates Hannibal. Hannibal, if you recall, was forcing Todd to bring him alcohol and treating him very poorly. Mephisto disguises himself and challenges Todd to a game of cards. If Todd wins, he'll get ownership of all of Hannibal's debts. If he loses, the game goes, you lose.
It's over, Hannibal.
You
no
loser.
More bottles.
God.
Never. That will see. You monkey.
Todd makes it very clear that Hannibal has no more control over him. If anything were to happen to
I just
Todd,
love
it's been
these
arranged
goofy
for a fur
ass,
trader to take an interest in Hannibal's beloved tiger's
goofy looking
coats.
animations
Why does
and shit.
Mephistopheles make faces like this?
It would be
that face.
most reassuring for many of you to assume that demons don't have hearts. We all started out as humans and can't wipe away every trace of good within ourselves just for your convenience. I am genuinely sorry. But in reality, we demons do have feelings, thoughts, and dreams. We're also prone to loneliness.
Mephisto points out that he as a demon isn't unfeeling and evil because of where the story is taking us next. The final soul
I don't know what
for
to tell you.
belongs to a woman named
Get
Giselle.
on Grindr?
Giselle's story
What's
is
the other?
by far the best of the game.
Tinder?
And I was shocked that amidst the insanity and goofiness of Faust, that this segment actually really made me feel something. It's kind of fucked up and it's very sad. Giselle is an obese woman who is paraded around in front of crowds to be mocked as the world's fattest woman on Earth.
No.
Flyers for her performances claim that she is over 550 pounds. Audiences would gather around and watch her struggle in her bath. The other chapters focus on the relationships and character flaws of the Dreamland crew. Giselle's focuses on the disturbing way that the performers were viewed for simply being different. For example, you can see flyers for
Like, as goofy as this game looks, and as goofy as basically everything about it is, there is, like, it is fucked up when you go back to the history of, like, the circus and how people were treated and sometimes even forced into the circus life. It's like, it's actually really fucked up and dark when you think about it. It's just, oh, even if it's like a goofy ass game like this, it's got that tone, that background of serious, fucked up shit.
the other characters, such as Frank, where he's depicted as having a deformed face because he was burned in hell. It states that he's the most terrifying monster of all time, which is obviously a cruel way to present somebody that you know didn't choose to be born looking that way. You don't need me to tell you that at one point in history, freak shows like this were real and very willing to dehumanize people to make a buck. Theodore, Dreamland's owner, defends displaying these people this way because he says that they wouldn't want to be beggars, and that even if the job is humiliating, they'd rather work and have money.
Like, people that ran the circuses were like straight up buying people.
Would direct at her.
Oh my god, look at that!
If they considered that, like, they could, like, make him a show.
And oh my god, I hate music copyright because I wish I could play the song that's playing in the background of this.
No.
It adds so much to the atmosphere. It's a really gloomy cover of Far, Far Away from My Heart, and the cover is by Presence, so if you're curious, you can look it up. What the? There is definitely something going on with the scale of the 3D models because that's a very tiny tub for a 500-pound woman. Unraveling Giselle's story as you rummage around through her things reveals a pretty sad story. She is immobile and can only interact with things within
That's
her
another
immediate
thing.
reach unless she has help. She's essentially a
That's another thing I've noticed in older games, but especially like in point and click games, where the sizes of things usually don't make sense if you really think about it. Sometimes they're obvious, and then sometimes they're not. Like you have to do a double take, but it's always kind of funny to me in older games, but especially point and click games.
prisoner trapped inside her own body. A newspaper clipping tells a story about a young girl that lived on an isolated North Dakota farm. She and her family were completely cut off from the rest of the world by heavy snowfall. Unfortunately, the family did not have enough food to make it through the winter, and everyone in the house but one little girl starved to death. Clearly traumatized by going through such an event, the feeling of hunger caused her to relive unpleasant memories, and she developed a fear that someday she may not know when she'd be able to eat again.
That's
this
so
caused her
fucked
to
up.
overeat to the point where she's at now. She took a job with a kind baker, but ultimately ended up stealing pastries to comfort herself. She was fired, and well, one thing led to another, and that's how she ended up at Dreamland for work, a place that not only accepted her weight, but encouraged it. Now, up until this point in the story, Mephistopheles has been either extremely against or neutral at best with these characters. But Giselle, he saw how isolated and lonely she was, stuck there in her room in her own body, and tried his best to provide her with a little comfort. He created a fake radio show where she could call in and actually have some company.
Okay, welcome again, folks.
A whole ass
This is
radio
Matt
show for her.
with
Damn.
you right through those dark Savannah nights here on Devil FM 666. Our next call
Subtle.
comes from young
Subtle.
Giselle. She's an artist in a famous amusement park. Giselle, nice to have you on the show again.
Hi, Beth. I needed someone to talk to.
That's why I'm here, Giselle. A voice in the loneliness.
Giselle would talk at length to this mystery radio host. She would tell him all about how her audiences would laugh at her, and even sometimes that they looked like they felt saddened by her. She tells him that she didn't mind the laughing at all, as that was part of her job, but she didn't want to ever make anyone feel sad.
Keep a smile on your face, kid. You're not the only one to feel alone and frightened sometimes.
The more the two talked, the more they befriended each other. Mephisto became more and more dedicated to trying to comfort her as he realized what a kind person she was.
And I knew I shouldn't do that, eating all that pastry and all, but I was always afraid that it would start again. So I prepared myself. I was so afraid, Meph. I didn't want to steal, I promise.
Hey, sweetie, it's all right.
It's so fucked up because it's like
Eventually, Giselle felt so connected to
hers
Mephisto
was
that
like
she asked
so
him if they
presentable,
could meet in person.
preventable.
You're my only friend, and I was wondering, do you think maybe
Like if someone was just, if she just had help of some kind,
we could meet and talk and... Oh, that would
like some serious therapy.
I can't, darling. It's, well, basically against the rules.
okay? It's all right.
Damn it. I've never cared much about the rules anyway. Okay, sweetie. See you soon.
Mephistopheles and Giselle begin spending time together in person frequently. One day he tells her that he has powers and asks her if she could have anything, what she would choose. She tells him that she misses her parents and that she would like to see them again. This part of the story gets particularly dark. She tells him that she often thinks of ending her own life to escape her body and see her family again in heaven, but fears that if she were to get there herself, that God may not let her in. Mephisto tells her not to do this. Mephistopheles, despite not wanting her to end her own life, recognizes the pain that she is in. He tells her he knows that her heart cannot bear the burden of her weight indefinitely. He gives her a magical clock that counts down to her final moment on Earth, so she has something to look forward to. Oh my god, this is fucked. He also gifts her a magical spoon
her whole
that will allow her to
storyline's
eat
fucked
anything
up,
she
so.
desires to comfort herself, but this magical food won't hurt her.
Like
He
I
then
love,
tells her that
like
she should
it's like it's such a fucking vibe change because like the majority of the characters in the game we've gone through so far, their stories and stuff has mostly been like basically goofy, funny soap opera bullshit, you know. And then we get to her, and it's like, holy shit, this is actually like an actual fucked up emotional shit in this game. This goofy ass looking game.
Make the most of the time she has
It's
left
whiplash
and to do
over
something
here.
with herself to make her parents proud when they see her again. This turns out to be a terrible, awful, horrible, catastrophic
Oh, no.
recommendation. You see, Frank the pervert carts off with her to his pervert emporium while talking about
God, the
ink.
fucking
Now, this
pervert.
version of
It's
Frank
always
is
a
before
fucking
Mephisto
pervert.
fixed his face, so he hadn't signed a contract yet and was still an artist. I'm just gonna cut to the chase here. Frank had been having thoughts of human skin being a quality canvas for his art, and he realized a 500-pound woman has a lot of skin. Now, the worst part about this is how the game very slowly and nightmarishly presents this reveal to you. It doesn't just tell you outright. My eyeballs damn near popped out of my head when I realized what was going on. Giselle agrees to be turned into a work of art because she figured that that would be something worthwhile.
Oh,
She could turn the body that caused her
no.
so much pain into something that could bring people joy. The canvas was submitted to a museum and became a famous work of art, and no one ever discovered its true nature. Meanwhile, Faust and Mephisto start beefing over the rule breaking that was helping Giselle.
You know you cannot
That's
do
so
that,
fucked up.
Mephistopheles.
Don't lecture me on what I can or cannot do, Angelito. I love that kid, and I will do whatever pleases
fucking hand,
me to help
like,
her
it's-
feel better.
It's against the rules.
Talking with the
Mephistopheles.
hands over here, they're so exaggerated. They're
I am
everywhere.
entitled to know what is good or not for these people. We each have our roles to play, demon. You tempt and reveal. I comfort and soothe.
And in what way did you soothe her, Angelito?
This has nothing
like the
to do with you.
The fucking camera angle and the way they're just flapping their hands around.
Rights. Rights. Is that what is at stake here? The celestial golden rules against the well-being of that child. Well, damn me if that's not a crisis of conscience. Oh, I wouldn't like to be in your pair of wings. Now you remember. You let me help her, and they punished you for that by sending you back here. Courage, my friend. I see an end to your troubles, and it's just a few steps away.
So there's a big twist at the end of this game.
What?
Faust, our player character, is actually an angel that had his wings stripped for helping a demon break the rules. But wait, there's more!
Last act. Spectators are kindly asked to go back to their seats.
Screw the system.
Could someone tell me what game we're playing here?
I
guess
just-
it's not the game
I just
with
love
Soul's
how-
forecast.
Souls. You know as well as
I just
do
love
that
how,
souls are
whether
beyond our jurisdiction.
supernatural or not, it's always fuck the system.
There were
Fuck
never
the
any
rules.
souls to
God
deem
damn
worthy
it.
of heaven or hell. Mephisto is tired of living in the human world. He's tired of his demonly duties after 3,000 years. Theodore
mean,
signed a contract with him that he
3,000
would replace
years,
Mephisto
yeah, I'd be
in his
ready
work
for
if he
fucking
could find
retirement,
someone
too.
truly worthy of taking over Dreamland.
Let's be fair.
Someone that deeply knew and understood the
Oh my
human
God, that
heart
face.
and would care for
The
anyone that
face.
was part of the park. There are two endings. The first is if you refuse to take ownership of Dreamland. In this ending, you sign over the contract of ownership to some dude. I genuinely don't understand why this ending even exists. The whole scene lasts like 12 seconds. You literally just sign the paperwork and the big corpo guy goes, hell yeah, and the credits roll. I also don't know why the back of Faust's head is purple in these scenes. What the fuck? In the good ending, you do decide to take over the park.
Someone just
and
said, "Fuck
this
it."
happens.
They wanted to clock out. They didn't want to. It's like, it's purple? Fuck
just
it.
like it used to.
No one will care.
Yes, sir. I really think you should read.
Out of this place now!
Indeed,
What
you
the-
just sign the contract.
Whoa,
and take over
drama
Dreamland.
queen.
Then my silly little homunculus son starts floating off into the
A
sunset.
little bit of an
talking
overreaction.
about Todd's ass.
What are you staring at, Cherub? Let's
I
go to
told
work.
you not to call me cherub, right?
Why not? I mean, you are rather small. You've got the wings, and what a chubby little cherub bot.
Someday,
What?
I'm going to break that damn bottle of yours. I swear I will.
And there you have it, the story of Faust
What
and
the
the Seven
fuck?
Games of the Soul. I kind of hate this game, but I also love it very much. This game is indeed pretentious, and it's wild that it had aspirations to be considered high cultural art rather than just a video game. On the other hand, it is a ton of really good dorky fun. Aside
that's
from the
when
puzzle.
it comes to like especially older games that are like this, that are just like you hate playing them most of the time, but the game itself is just so fucking goofy or extra or just out there that it's memorable in its own way. So it's like a love-hate relationship with a lot of these games.
Being really cryptic, you cannot get through this game without a walkthrough, I promise. I also think that Faust and Giselle are both extremely well voice acted, and they're both really interesting characters. And of course, my beloved homunculus. The motion capture is also really funny. The theater kids refer to this as milking the giant cow. And look, for better or worse, whether you like it or not, one has to admit that this game really is unique. And I respect it for that. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring
Oh my god, the
and helping
whiplash.
make this video
Jesus.
possible. Again, War Thunder is available on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile for free. Please remember to use the links below to sign up if you want to check it out. Also,
Such
remember, the bonus pack for
fucking
PC and
whiplash over
console
here.
is for a limited time only, so you'll want to claim your premium vehicles, in-game currency, and more today. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoy these videos, consider checking out my Ko-fi. If you're feeling generous, you can leave a one-time
Yeah,
tip to help support the
I highly
channel, or if you're
recommend you
feeling
check out
turbo generous,
Earlybird,
you can subscribe monthly,
if
similar
you
to
haven't already.
Patreon. Also, if you like games and hanging out,
Like,
and
check out her
talking about
channel.
weird stuff, check
Watch
out
her
the Discord
vids.
server.
She's got good shit over there. Entertaining as fuck. Oh, that was good. This fucking crazy game. Those fucking old games, especially point and clicks. Ugh. Even if like they're the shittiest game ever, they're definitely gonna make you remember them.